So tell me how you got to Susan Ulmer Addiction Services.
I was in active addiction for 29 years. There's not too much that I wasn't addicted to in those years. I had a severe prescription painkiller addiction that led me to using harder street drugs for many years. My family sent me to a treatment facility in Manitoba from Alberta, and while I was there, I realized that I couldn't go back home to exactly what I left would just make me sick again. So I found a sober living home and Susan Ulmer Addictions here in Regina, which was about halfway home. I actually got dropped off outside Susan Ulmer Addiction Services with my one suitcase I took to treatment. I walked through these doors terrified, afraid, and alone, and all the staff welcomed me in with open arms. I lived in the third stage treatment for 1.5 years and did the entire program here. And as part of my aftercare program, I just kept coming back. And I eventually got hired on and went to school for addiction counseling, and I've been here ever since.
So how is your life different today?
Today, everything is different. What's that saying that you give up everything for one thing in addiction, and you give up one thing for everything in recovery? And that's so true with me. Everything in my world is completely different today. Susan
Ulmer has a youth program. Tell me a little bit about that program.
Our youth program is designed for 13 to 17-year-olds. They come 3 days a week for 42 days, where it's education and where they can have a safe place to talk about their problems. Some kids need a little extra help, so we will do anything we can to help them. So some come for one-on-one counseling as well as therapy.
Do you have programs available for both male and female?
Right now we have a group set aside just for females. We found that females needed a safe space to talk about some things that maybe they carry some shame and trauma with that they can't share in a group with a mixed gender.
Are all the programs done in a group setting?
No, we do one-on-one. There's some people that come in that can't go straight into a group. So sometimes we'll put them on one-on-one for a week, sometimes two, before moving them into a group. And some people are never able to move into a group and do just one-on-one for the whole program.
Do you use a 12-step program at Susan Ulmer's?
We have a Addictions Anonymous meeting twice a week. They're very diverse, so it's a mixture of all.
How did you end up at Susan Ulmer?
I was in jail, and then they put me, I got released into a CTR, which is a transitioning back into normal life, I should say. And it just, they brought me here, and you know, it's been almost 2 years and I've never left.
Tell me about your life in the addiction mode.
It's just crazy. Looking over my shoulder, it's just a big haze, you know. I got into crime, violence, it was tumultuous, it was crazy, it was a bad experience.
Was the program at Susan Ulmer Addiction Services successful for you?
Absolutely. I finished my programming at Susan Ulmer's in June of 2022, and like I said, I never left. I keep coming, I do the meetings, I'm very involved.
Would you recommend to those who are suffering with addictions to attend Susan Ulmer Addiction Services?
Yeah, I have. I will continue to do so many times. I have.
Why?
It's helped me. I've watched it help people. My sponsor here is here. There's a lot of good things that happen from here.
In your opinion, does Susan Ulmer Addiction Services help people in recovery?
Yeah, like I said, it's helped me in recovery. I've had no relapses, and you know, it's just such a close fellowship that I've never experienced.
What do you do outside of your program at Susan Ulmer's?
I'm involved with the Narcotics Anonymous Convention Committee. I'm involved with the Hospitals and Institutions Committee, or subcommittee. I do Pine Lodge meetings, I do detox meetings regularly. And yeah, I go to the meetings regularly.
What is different about your life today?
Everything about my life is different. I have my own place. I don't go to jail continuously. I have friends. I'm compassionate. I understand the needs of others as well as myself. So every facet of my life has changed. for the
So,
better.
bottom line is, are you happy?
I'm happy. Yeah, I have great days. Like, it's just, my life is so much better. Positive.
Susan Ulmer worked for Pine Lodge for some 22 years as a program director. She retired from Pine Lodge and decided that there was something missing in the city of Regina for the purpose of those suffering with addiction. So she set up Susan Ulmer Addiction Services with an outpatient program. That program today is doing very well.
Is there a waiting list?
There's never a waiting list at Susan Ulmer Addiction Services. People can come in at any time.
Is your program open to everyone?
Program is open to absolutely everyone. Those coming out of jail, those dealing with probation, those dealing with a number of different organizations within the city are welcome to come.
How does the outpatient program work?
The outpatient program is designed to allow people to come to programming daily and then to go either to school, to work, or back home to look after their families.
Do you have a therapist on site?
We have 2 on site that are available to people that are doing the program and also available to anybody else that may need a therapist to deal with trauma, suicide, prevention, grief and loss.
Do you have an aftercare program for clients who have completed the program?
We have an aftercare program that runs 365 days. It gives the clients a guiding light as to what they should be doing to maintain their sobriety, and they can come back here at any time.
Is the program just group program, or is there one-on-one counseling available?
We have both. We have group programming and one-on-one.
Does Susan Ulmer Addiction Services have sober living houses?
Yes, we do. We have 3 at the present time. We plan on increasing that, and we do work hand in hand with Oxford House.
What outside agencies do you work with or have partnerships with?
Right now we have partnerships with John Howard, which looks after basically male clients, and we have working relationship with Elizabeth Fry, which handles female clients. At the present time, we have programs running at Ochapaway First Nations, Carry the Kettle First Nations, and George Gordon First Nations. Those programs do include cultural activities such as the sweats, the sharing circle, and we have elders that do attend those sessions.
Do you have programs for the families of the addicts in your program?
Yes, we do. It's very difficult for families of recovering addicts. They think that once an addict stops using, then everything should be rosy in their homes. So we invite them in and we tell them that this is what they got to do. This is how they got to support the addict at the time.